Go look in the mirror right now. I mean it. Stop what you are doing, walk to the nearest mirror, and really look at your face, your hands, your chest. Do you see them? Those brown patches, those dark clusters. The areas where your skin looks uneven, like it belongs to someone 20 years older than the rest of you. You have stared at them before. I know you have. Maybe you have spent money trying to fix them. A cream here, a serum there, maybe even a professional treatment that promised results in weeks. And yet there they are, still sitting on your skin, stubborn as ever. Here is what nobody has told you. Those spots are not permanent damage. They are not scars baked into your skin. They are the result of one single enzyme that has lost its off switch. One enzyme. That is the only thing standing between you and clear, even, radiant skin. That enzyme is called tyrosinase. And what most people, including most dermatologists, never explain is that tyrosinase has a very real off switch. That switch is not inside a $60 cream. It is not behind a prescription pad. It is sitting in 5 ordinary foods in your kitchen right now. My name is Dr. Thomas Reed, and by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how dark spots form inside your skin and exactly how 5 kitchen foods target every single step of that process. Not by bleaching, not by burning with acid, by going directly to the source and shutting the production line down. Let us get into the science, because the science is where this gets genuinely exciting. The biology, how dark spots actually form. Deep in the lowest layer of your skin live specialized cells called melanocytes. Each melanocyte stretches long arms, called dendrites, out to roughly 30 or 40 surrounding skin cells. Picture a tiny octopus, arms reaching in every direction. That is your melanocyte. Its job is to produce melanin, the pigment that gives skin its color. In young, healthy skin, this system works beautifully. Sunlight hits the surface. A chemical signal, alpha melanocyte-stimulating hormone, tells the melanocyte to produce melanin. The melanin gets packaged into tiny compartments called melanosomes and shipped out through those dendrite arms to neighboring cells. Those cells position the pigment like a tiny umbrella over their DNA, shielding it from UV damage. Even, controlled, graceful. That is healthy skin. But after a certain point in life, and this is what nobody talks about, this system breaks down in 5 distinct ways. Every dark spot on your face traces back to one or more of these 5 failures. Failure 1. Some melanocytes become hyperactive. They ignore the body's shutdown signals and run at full speed all the time, flooding the skin with pigment they were never asked to produce. Failure 2. The surrounding cells start sending the go signal even when there is no sun exposure at all. Even indoors, even at night, the production line never pauses. Failure 3. Melanosome delivery becomes chaotic. Some cells get flooded with pigment and turn dark. Others get almost none. The result is that blotchy, uneven tone that no foundation can truly conceal. Failure 4. The skin's natural renewal cycle slows down. Young skin replaces itself every 28 days. Aging skin can take 45 to 60 days. Those heavily pigmented cells that should have shed weeks ago are still sitting on your surface, accumulating more damage, getting darker. Failure 5. Chronic low-grade inflammation from decades of sun, pollution, and oxidative stress keeps whispering to the melanocytes to keep producing pigment. Around the clock. Even on cloudy days. Even while you sleep. 5 failures. 5 targets. The 5 foods I am about to show you each address a different one of these failures. Together, they cover every single step, from the very first cellular signal to the last visible fragment of pigment sitting on your skin. No cream does this. No serum addresses all 5 mechanisms at once. But 5 foods from your kitchen, used the right way, can. Food 1. Lemon. Target. Tyrosinase enzyme plus receptor signaling plus surface exfoliation. Lemon goes directly after the central engine of every dark spot, the tyrosinase enzyme. Here is exactly how it works. Tyrosinase requires 2 copper atoms to function. Those copper atoms sit inside the enzyme like 2 spark plugs in an engine. Without them, the enzyme cannot operate, and melanin production stops completely. Vitamin C, present in lemon as ascorbic acid, grabs those copper atoms and pulls them away from the enzyme. This process is called chelation. The enzyme is left sitting there, unable to function, like a car with its spark plugs removed. But vitamin C does not stop there. Midway through the melanin production process, a molecule called dopaquinone is created. This is a critical point where the reaction commits to becoming dark pigment. Vitamin C intercepts this reaction and chemically converts dopaquinone back to its earlier form, before it can become melanin. The enzyme pushes forward. Vitamin C pulls it backward. The melanin never gets made. A study published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology confirmed that vitamin C application significantly reduced melanin content in hyperpigmented skin, with progressive lightening the longer treatment continued. And that is not all lemon does. The citric acid in lemon, an alpha-hydroxy acid, gently loosens the bonds between dead skin cells on the surface, accelerating their shedding. This natural exfoliation is exactly what aging skin needs, but struggles to perform on its own. Citric acid also reduces the expression of the receptor on the melanocyte surface that receives the go signal from the stimulating hormone. Fewer receptors means the melanocyte becomes less sensitive to the signal, telling it to keep producing pigment. 3 mechanisms. 1 piece of fruit. How to use it. For topical application, squeeze half a lemon and dilute the juice with an equal amount of water. Apply to dark spots with a cotton pad in the evening. Leave it 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. Dilution is not optional. Undiluted lemon juice is too acidic and can trigger irritation, which causes its own form of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. For internal use, drink the juice of 1 lemon in warm water every morning. The vitamin C absorbed through your digestive system travels through your bloodstream to every melanocyte in your body, providing systemic tyrosinase inhibition that topical treatment alone cannot reach. 1 important warning. Lemon juice temporarily makes your skin photosensitive. Never apply it in the morning before sun exposure. Apply only in the evening, and always wear sunscreen the following day. Food 2. Turmeric. Target: melanosome transfer plus tyrosinase gene plus inflammation. Even if you could shut down tyrosinase completely right now, the dark spots visible today would not disappear overnight. The melanin has already been produced, already been delivered into surrounding skin cells. The pigment is already there. Turmeric targets the delivery process itself. The active compound in turmeric, curcumin, inhibits a receptor on skin cells called protease-activated receptor 2. This receptor acts like a docking port that pulls melanosomes inside. When curcumin blocks this receptor, the skin cells cannot accept the pigment being offered. The melanin sits inside the melanocyte, unable to be distributed. The surrounding skin cells stay lighter. The dark spot fades. A study published in Phytotherapy Research confirmed that curcumin significantly reduced melanosome transfer and lightened pigmentation without damaging the melanocytes themselves. This distinction matters enormously. The melanocytes still need to respond to genuine damage. Curcumin does not destroy that protective function. It simply stops the overproduction and overdelivery, creating those dark patches. Curcumin also downregulates the gene that codes for tyrosinase itself, reducing the amount of new enzyme the melanocyte produces in the first place. Combined with the copper chelating effect of vitamin C from lemon, you now have a 2-pronged attack. Vitamin C disabling the enzyme that already exists. Curcumin preventing new enzyme from being manufactured to replace it. And curcumin addresses chronic inflammation by blocking the nuclear factor kappa B pathway, the master switch for inflammatory signaling in the body. Research published in Biofactors found that curcumin reduced inflammatory cytokine expression in UV-exposed skin cells, and that this anti-inflammatory effect was directly accompanied by reduced melanin production. How to use it? For topical application, mix 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder with 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Apply the paste directly to dark spots for 20 minutes. Then, rinse. For internal use, consume 1 to 2 teaspoons of turmeric daily with black pepper and a fat-containing food. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Its absorption increases dramatically in the presence of both fat and piperine, the active compound in black pepper. Golden milk with coconut milk works beautifully here. Food 3. Papaya. Target: slow cell turnover plus internal UV protection. Papaya targets the fourth failure directly, the sluggish cell turnover that keeps hyperpigmented cells sitting on your skin surface for weeks longer than they should. In aging skin, the renewal cycle slows from 28 days to 45 or 60 days or longer. During all that extra time, those dark cells absorb more UV radiation, accumulate more oxidative damage, and send more inflammatory signals down to the melanocytes below, triggering even more pigment production. The slowdown becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. Papaya breaks this cycle using 2 remarkable enzymes. The first is papain, a protease that breaks down the protein-based bonds holding dead skin cells together on the surface. These bonds are called desmosomes. After a certain age, the enzymes that normally dissolve them become less active. Papain supplements this declining activity, allowing old pigmented cells to detach and shed faster. The second enzyme is chemopapain, which works alongside papain but targets slightly different protein connections, making the exfoliation more thorough than either enzyme could achieve alone. A study published in the Journal of Skin Pharmacology and Physiology confirmed that papain-based exfoliation significantly increased epidermal turnover rate and improved the clinical appearance of hyperpigmented skin, specifically by increasing the shedding of melanin-containing cells while stimulating the production of fresh, evenly pigmented cells from deeper layers. But papaya is not only an exfoliator, it is packed with beta-carotene, which converts to retinoic acid inside the skin, activating genes that speed up cell division. More fresh cells arriving from below, old pigmented cells clearing faster from the top. The turnover cycle compressed from both ends simultaneously. Papaya also contains lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that shields skin from UV-induced damage. A study in the British Journal of Dermatology found that lycopene improved the skin's inherent resistance to ultraviolet radiation, quietly reducing the intensity of every UV stimulus that would otherwise trigger melanocyte overactivity. How to use it? For topical application, mash a 2-inch piece of overripe papaya into a smooth paste and apply to dark spots for 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 evenings per week. Overripe papaya, too soft to eat, is ideal because enzyme concentration peaks as the fruit softens. For internal use, eat 1 to 2 cups of fresh papaya daily at breakfast. The beta-carotene and vitamin C will be circulating through your bloodstream and reaching your skin cells within hours. Food 4. Raw honey. Target: moisture barrier plus inflammation cycle plus additional tyrosinase inhibition. Raw honey addresses something none of the other 3 foods touch: the relationship between your skin's moisture barrier and the formation of dark spots. When the moisture barrier is compromised, water evaporates rapidly from the skin surface. That dehydration triggers a measurable stress response that includes the release of inflammatory mediators. And those inflammatory mediators directly stimulate melanocytes to produce more pigment. Dry skin is inflamed skin. Inflamed skin is darker skin. This cycle runs quietly in the background, amplifying every other trigger and undermining every effort to lighten spots. Raw honey is one of the most effective natural humectants ever studied. The natural sugars, primarily fructose and glucose, bind water through hydrogen bonding and hold it in the skin surface, restoring the moisture that a compromised barrier has allowed to escape. But raw honey goes further. It contains an enzyme called glucose oxidase that continuously generates trace levels of hydrogen peroxide when diluted by skin moisture. At these concentrations, hydrogen peroxide does not damage tissue. Instead, it acts as a signaling molecule that stimulates healing growth factors and promotes actual structural repair of the damaged moisture barrier. Raw honey also contains gluconic acid, a polyhydroxy acid that provides gentle exfoliation with a larger molecular size than lemon, making it ideal for sensitive skin that finds lemon too strong. A study published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine confirmed that topical honey application improved skin hydration, reduced water loss, and produced measurable reduction in hyperpigmentation and improvement in luminosity in older subjects. And here is what most people do not know about honey. Darker varieties, particularly buckwheat honey and manuka honey, contain phenolic compounds that directly inhibit tyrosinase through a mechanism entirely distinct from vitamin C. This means honey provides its own independent layer of tyrosinase suppression, on top of everything else it does for the barrier and inflammation. How to use it? Apply a thin layer of raw honey directly to dark spots and leave it on for 20 to 30 minutes, 4 to 5 evenings per week. You can combine it with the turmeric paste, one treatment delivering both curcumin's melanosome inhibition and honey's barrier-restoring hydration at the same time. Food 5. Aloe vera. Target: existing melanin degradation plus synergistic tyrosinase inhibition plus microbiome. Aloe vera holds the most powerful position in this protocol for one specific reason. It can reduce the melanin that is already sitting inside your skin cells right now. Every other food in this protocol works on future melanin. Lemon and curcumin and honey prevent new melanin from being produced. Papaya and the exfoliating effects clear away pigmented cells, but they have to wait for the turnover cycle. The melanin making your dark spots visible today, already deposited inside the keratinocytes on your skin surface, none of the first 4 foods are touching that directly. Aloe vera does. It contains a compound called aloesin that actively degrades melanin already inside skin cells. Aloesin inhibits an enzyme that stabilizes melanin within the melanosome, causing the existing pigment to break down into lighter, less visible fragments. The dark spots are being dissolved from within. A study published in the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Dermatology found that aloesin application significantly reduced melanin content in human skin and produced visible lightening at a rate more rapid than turnover alone could account for, confirming that aloesin was actively breaking down existing melanin, not simply preventing new deposits. Aloe vera also contains aloin, which inhibits tyrosinase through a mechanism completely distinct from vitamin C's copper chelation. Aloin binds to a different site on the enzyme, meaning both inhibitors work simultaneously without interfering with each other. A study published in Molecules found that aloe vera extract containing both aloesin and aloin produced stronger depigmenting effects than either compound tested individually, and the combination outperformed hydroquinone at equivalent concentrations, without hydroquinone's risk of paradoxical permanent darkening with long-term use. Aloe vera also contains acemenin, a complex polysaccharide that reduces the production of inflammatory prostaglandins and leukotrienes by 60% or more, directly decreasing the inflammatory stimulus driving melanocyte overactivity. And there is one more dimension worth mentioning. Aloe vera functions as a prebiotic on the skin surface, feeding beneficial bacteria while suppressing harmful species. An imbalanced skin microbiome has been linked to increased inflammatory signaling that drives pigmentation. Aloe vera quietly works to restore that balance every night. How to use it? Cut a leaf from a fresh aloe vera plant and scoop out the clear gel directly. Apply to dark spots and leave it on overnight. It dries to a thin, invisible film that delivers its active compounds throughout the night without staining your pillowcase. If a fresh plant is not available, choose a commercial gel listing Aloe barbadensis leaf gel as the first ingredient, with at least 90% aloe content. For internal use, 2 tablespoons of pure aloe vera juice daily provides systemic anti-inflammatory support. Make sure any product intended for internal use has been processed to remove aloin. In large oral doses, aloin acts as a powerful laxative. The weekly routine, putting it all together. Here is how to bring all 5 foods into one sustainable, practical schedule. Every morning, without exception, drink the juice of 1 fresh lemon in warm water. Follow breakfast with 1 to 2 cups of fresh papaya. Take 1 to 2 teaspoons of turmeric with black pepper and a fat source in a smoothie, a meal, or warm golden milk. Every evening, rotate your topical treatments on this schedule. Monday and Thursday evenings, diluted lemon juice to dark spots, 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse. Tuesday and Friday evenings, turmeric and raw honey paste, 20 minutes, then rinse. Wednesday and Saturday evenings, mashed ripe papaya, 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse. Every single evening, apply fresh aloe vera gel to dark spots and leave it on overnight. This is non-negotiable. Aloe vera is the anchor of this protocol, working every night to dissolve existing melanin while the rotating treatments address each of the other 4 failures on their designated days. Sunday is a rest day for topical treatments. Apply only aloe vera gel. And there is one element this protocol absolutely depends on: daily sun protection of at least SPF 30, applied every morning without exception. Every mechanism in this protocol is working to reduce pigment. Unprotected sun exposure triggers a fresh wave of melanocyte stimulation that overwhelms everything these foods are doing. Sunscreen is what makes the difference between a protocol that transforms your skin and one that runs in place. Conclusion: 5 foods, 5 mechanisms. 1 unified system. Lemon, shutting down the tyrosinase enzyme, quieting the receptor that keeps the production signal running, clearing old pigmented cells from the surface. Turmeric, blocking the delivery of melanin to surrounding skin cells, reducing new tyrosinase production, calming the inflammatory signals that drive overproduction around the clock. Papaya, dissolving the bonds holding old pigmented cells on the surface, accelerating turnover from both the top and the bottom, shielding melanocytes from further damage with internal antioxidants. Raw honey, restoring the moisture barrier that in its compromised state perpetuates the dehydration and inflammation cycle, providing its own independent layer of tyrosinase inhibition, nourishing the skin's microbiome toward a less inflammatory state. And aloe vera, the anchor, dissolving melanin that is already there, synergistically inhibiting tyrosinase from a second independent direction, reducing inflammatory signaling by 60% and delivering a complete matrix of vitamin C and E directly to your skin cells while you sleep. Every night. Your kitchen has been a fully equipped dermatology clinic this entire time. You just never had the instruction manual. This is Dr. Thomas Reed. If this helped you understand something that $60 creams never explained, share it with someone who deserves to know. And subscribe, because the next video goes even deeper into what your skin has been trying to tell you.